welcome, welcome, welcome. The Heart of Leadership Live. Today is the day, as my friend Diane Dick would say. I am so honored that each of you pushed that button. Each of you pushed that button and said, I want to be a part of the Heart of Leadership because your hearts are going to grow today, expand beyond belief. I am Melanie Ake, the founder of Everyday Leaders. And let me just tell you, 4 years ago when I had my first summit and I was feeling this. I registered for the everydayleaders.com website. I saw this vision that I wanted to lift leaders and celebrate you. Every single one of you is in my heart. If you have not been interviewed by me, you have been a part of my life, and I just celebrate you today. I am excited because our first section is Gary Brackett. He is the keynote to kick us off. We are going to stay on time as close as possible. There are going to be so many interactive tools that we give to you. If you have registered for VIP, you get to come into the room at 6 p.m. Eastern and connect to all of these leaders. You get a workbook. If you have registered and you have not received your workbook, please just say in the chat, hey, I'm raising my hand. I need my workbook. It is a 50-page my number 50. And Anza Goodbar, I have to thank her because she has been the behind the scenes everything for us today. So if you have a question, just tag her in here in the chat. She will help you get through that. Just wanted to go through some of the logistics. If you want to still buy your workbook, there are going to be links in there too. You can purchase the workbook. It's $37. You can join VIP for $97. It includes the workbook and all the extra bells and whistles afterwards. You guys, VIP is going to give us a lot of access to things that are exclusive to VIP. So all through the day, I'm going to give away gifts. I love giving things to people. So one thing is, if you join VIP, you're already getting my co-authored book, Pandemic Blessings, that just came out at Thanksgiving, and I will autograph that and send that to you. I just love you. I love your hearts, and thank you for joining me in this personal growth journey today. So Joe, my producer, thank you so much for everything that you do for me behind the scenes to keep this going. And I have tons of energy, you guys. So 6 hours, here we go. Are you ready? Let's kick it off with Gary Brackett, our keynote speaker for the Heart of Leadership Live. Here we go, 2021.
Hey, hello, and welcome to the Everyday Leaders Conference. I want to thank, obviously, Melanie and Joe for putting this event on, and I want to thank you for having me. My name is Gary Brackett, and what I want to discuss today with you and all the leaders that are on the call is I want to discuss us, and I want to discuss us becoming our best selves, our championship selves, and how do we get that done? How do you become your championship self? How do you let all the fears, all the noise in outside, how do you quiet that, and how do you go above that and reach new heights in not only in your personal life, but in your professional life as well? And I want to share with you some things that I've done over my career to get me to where I am, where I don't let the little things affect me, and how I'm working on every area of my life and become the best version of myself in each one of those areas. All right. So if you're on the call today, I just want you to know a few things. One, you get to decide. You get to decide how you will leave your legacy. You get to decide, and you can live your life every day like you're a champion. And I think it's important that we start sharing what, in fact, makes us great in life. My thing is that we all have these unique skills and abilities, and oftentimes we don't share them with the world. Oftentimes we quiet those, or we limit ourselves with limiting thinking, with self-limiting beliefs, with fears, with all these things that goes through our mind. And the world just wants us to share our gift. The world just wants us to share our greatness and really be authentic to that greatness. Not doing it for someone else, our parents, our spouses, our jobs, doing what makes us happy and sharing that gift with the world so that everyone can see how unique you are. But also by doing that, you give people the permission to kind of do that themselves. And I think that's important. My goal, I always say, as a leader, it's not to create more followers. My goal, in fact, as a leader is to create more leaders. And that's what I want to do with you today. I want to create more leaders. I want to create more positive thinkers. I want to create more people that live their lives every single day like they're a champion. All right, so that's my goal for you today. And I'm going to jump in and I'm going to explain some things. And before, I want to give you like a little bit of context, because it's like you wouldn't know like where we're at unless you had context about the environment that we're in. And it's just interesting about everything that occurred. I mean, you can't probably have a talk without talking about COVID, right? And I think it affected us all in so many different ways. And we've all been affected by it. Even if our jobs weren't affected, I think our personal lives were. And if you have children, how they had to stay home from school, and how that probably some of those effects are still there. If you had relationships or you had other things, a lot of areas were affected in our lives. And I think, in fact, that like there's the stat that 40% of workers feel used up. I mean, that's why you see the unemployment rates where they are right now, because people are tired. 41% report feeling burnt out from their work. And I think people are burnt out because they are so tired of doing what makes everyone else happy. They are so tired of living out everyone else's dream and not doing what makes themselves happy, and not doing what fulfills themselves. So I want to talk to you there about that. I want to talk to you about what makes you happy. I want to talk to you about living your highest and your best self. And if that's okay, I want to share some things with you, because I've realized that our world has changed. It's like Pandora's box. Like once that box is open, there's no way you can shut that box back, right? So the box has been open, and once you start paying employees what you're paying them, once you start experiencing being able to work from home, doing conferences online, once you start experiencing the freedoms that this world offers you, you never want to go back. So I want to encourage you to continue to go after those freedoms. I want to encourage you to continue to live your best life, because you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to live your best life. You owe it to yourself to make decisions that maybe aren't popular, but that are going to get you to where you want to go. Because I've learned that you can't pour from an empty cup. I've learned that you have to have your cup first full, and then you can help others. And I learned some crucial lessons. I mean, I took it on the chin, if you will, right? I mean, last year I had 10 restaurants, sports bars, Stack Pickle. I know some of you probably enjoyed the food there. I know I did. One positive is I'm down 10 pounds, but a lot of my capital, my net worth was tied into Stack Pickle, and I had to close my restaurants. I had to closed 10 stores. I had 7 franchisees about to open. I had another 10 lined up. This big business that I spent years building, that I had to fold. And I can blame so many different things, but at the end of the day, um, even though it's my fault, it's still my responsibility. And I knew that it was going to be challenging closing those stores and dealing with the after effects of that. But guess what? Like, we're born to do tough things. And I know for a fact that I've survived 100% of my bad days. I've survived 100% of my failures. And I know I could survive this too. So no matter if you're doing fantastic and you're planning on closing out the year strong, or you're in a situation where maybe you're not where you want to be, I think you're in the right place. You're in the right place, because I want to talk to you about how do you maximize your time here on this earth, and how do you learn and grow through all your experiences and make those into positive impacts and positive outcomes that you can deliver to the marketplace. So I know what I've been through makes me a better person. And in short, the hardships of today prepares me for the work of tomorrow. The hardships of today, and when you reframe those things in your mind, you reframe some of those losses into lessons. It really helps you identify new opportunities that are out there in the marketplace. It really shows you new ways that you can share information and teach people on where they are that you wish that you had. So for me, I'm more excited about my journey. I know it didn't look great, but the person that I've become as a result of it, like I wouldn't give anything back. And in fact, there's this quote that I really love, and it says, "The greatest challenge in life is discovering who you are. The second greatest challenge is being happy with what you find." Wow. How many of us on this call, and you will type it into the chat, are truly happy with what you find? Like 0 to 10, I want you to rank your happiness. Put it in the chat right now. 0 to 10, like how happy are you? Like generally happy. And so many of us, we've been learned or taught in our lives that we should tie our happiness with our success. And it's this curve where the more successful we are, the more happy we are. And I want to share with you that that is not a direct correlation. You can choose today, no matter your circumstances, to be happy. And then you can still work on being successful, whatever that means to you. And I think so many of us are waiting for a moment, waiting for permission to be happy. And I'm telling you to stop. Stop doing that. Decide today that you deserve happiness. Decide today that you will be happy. And decide today that you're going to take the necessary steps to get you there. And what are those necessary steps? Well, if you look at a winning mentality, and that's what I think I have, the necessary steps are one, you got to maintain a positive mindset. You know, when the world is giving you all of its fears, when so many things are getting thrown at you, you got to maintain a positive mindset in order to overcome. Don't let those negative doubts, don't let those fears and limited beliefs like hold you back. Every time you have one of those, I want you to force that out with 5, 10 positive things so you continue to tell yourself that you can do it, that you can make it. You are smart enough. You are enough. Second thing, we can't do this without putting effective systems in place. When I think about system, frameworks, principles, they're so beautiful because once you learn them, they're repeatable. And you can do things over and over again. And you look at some of the most successful people in their lives, and we're going to learn this later in the Champ framework. They put together a framework in their lives that allows them to make quick decisions, that allow them to be as effective as possible in the marketplace so they can add value to whatever that they're doing. And then the last, but certainly not least, is you got to pound the pavement. You got to work for it. Look, you're not going to be able to get to where you want to go unless you put in the work. Period. You won't be able to be successful. You won't be able to carry out your dreams. You won't be able to live your championship self if you're not willing to put in the work. But it's just not as simple as putting the work, right? We got to have a plan. We got to have systems. We have to be accurate. So much more goes into it. And one of the things that goes into it is you have to be able to persevere. You have to be able to take a punch, not hopefully not literally, but take a life punch, right, and get back up. And what I love is like there's so many examples of people that took punches and got back up. Albert Einstein, the guy from Wendy's, Dave Thomas, Walt Disney, Jack. I forget Jack's name, but he owns not Alibaba, but the other website in China. And some of these guys have failed time and time again, and they only needed to be right one time, and it changed their lives. But they had the perseverance to withstand all those other failures, to set themselves up for success, to be right that one time. So do you have that courage? Do you have that stick-to-itiveness that you're going to stick to it no matter what, and you're going to persevere until you win? Like my belief is, look, it's not over until I win. It's not over until I win. I'm going to get something out of it, right? Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it's painful. But guess what? Because I went through that pain, I have to get a reward. I have to. There's no reason you should go through that pain and not get a reward at the end of it. So if you're going through pain, if you've been through some pain, if you experience something, get a reward from it. Don't just like take it, grin it, and bear it. Nah, get a reward for what you've been through. And I think, if you're on this call again, you know what it's about. Like, it's about failing and getting back up. And some of you are like, sounds great. And so often we hear these things and like, all right, but how? I know it. I get it. But how? How do I get back up? What do it take for me to get back up? What should I do? And I'm glad you asked, and it takes grit. I have a new book that's coming out probably in the next 14 days. We're finalizing some copy. But it talks about overcoming obstacles. It talks about building your mindset and your mental toughness with strategies that's going to make you successful. And, so many oftentimes we don't have a plan if we get hit. We don't have a plan if we get knocked down. And I think we're so quick to give up because we didn't expect any adversity. But my motto is expect adversity and then expect to overcome it. So if you start to build that model for yourself to expect adversity and overcome it, you'll be able to do things that are unimaginable. You'll have resilience, you'll have perseverance. And with that consistency, you'll be able to overcome and do whatever it is that you need to do in order for you to be successful in your life. And again, when I talk about successful in your life, I'm not just talking about your business. I'm not just talking about your personal life. I'm talking about your holistic life. We're so much more than our jobs. We're so much more than a husband or a wife. We have so many different facets in our life, and I'm going to share what those are for me, um, and I want to help you get there for you in your life. So right now, I just want you to think, and I want you to close your eyes with me and imagine something. Like imagine having clear vision and purpose for your life. Wow, what would that look like if you knew exactly what you needed to do every day to set yourself up for success, for your goals, for your dreams? What does that look like? Imagine having crystal clear clarity on your 5 year plan. In 5 years, I'm going to be earning this. I'm going to have this type of relationship. I'm going to have this type of fitness in my life. I'm going to have, this type of spirituality. This is how much is going to be in my bank account. What does that look like for you? Because I'm a firm believer if we could dream it and we could start manifesting those things, we could start putting our sails in that direction, and it's almost certain that we're going to be able to reach it. Third, imagine having the relationships with the family that you want. Man, so often, we're so torn with this whole work-life balance thing, and my big thing is like it's not a balance in my mind. It's not a balance. It's a rhythm. And can you keep that dance going? Can you keep that music like going on in your head and keep all the balls in the air? Because a balance says it has to be equal. It has to say, all right, well, I'm putting 20 hours in at home. I'm putting 20 hours in at work, right? That's a balance. But sometimes work calls for 50 hours. Sometimes home calls for 30 hours. So whatever that is in your life, depending on your goals, depending on your dreams, you should be able to adjust that and keep that rhythm of your life going. Because I want to share with you some things that's going to help you grow in your life and help everything work out for the better. And I know this works because I've done it with some clients. I've done it with some people. And what I want to share with you today is I want to share with you some things that's going to change your life for the better. I'm going to share with you some things that can finally, for once, put you on the trajectory to get out of life what you deserve. And that's the very best version of your life. And helped my buddy Aaron, who had a gym. He was renting different spaces in different areas, and he finally launched his own gym business. And now he relocated his business now to Texas with his family to be a little bit safer. And just his personality and what he's doing and his confidence that he has as a business owner when he took a leap and helped Mark Famietti, who is an actor, who's a producer, who's a writer, who was living that Hollywood grind, up there auditioning, going through the motions and away from family. And he got some clarity in his life and what matters most. And he moved back home to be closer to his mom and his brothers. And now his family is there and just getting just as much work being in upstate New York than he did in California. And it also helped to share our heirs, who is a personality. She was a single mom at 14, and now she launched one of the first African American female voice companies where she uses her voice to make money for other people and for their businesses and their products. So the system works, and I want to be the one that kind of help you implement it inside your life. I want to help you get the clarity that you need in order to get that done. Just like I did while I'm doing my career with the Indianapolis Colts when I was a captain screaming in the huddle, "Let's go, fellas. All I want is all you got." And that's what I'm telling you. All I want is all you got. And I think what you got inside of you is a champion. What you got inside of you is a winner. What you got inside of you is something that is so powerful. Once you release it, I think you're going to be able to not only shock the world, but also shock yourself. So, my question to you, and you can type this into the chat, like, are you ready? Are you ready to join this team of champions? Are you ready to live your best life? I think you are, and that's exactly why you're on this call. For more information, and at the end, I'm going to give you opportunity to see what's inside of this program, but develop a whole program around this premise, talking about being a champ in you, Champions Academy, and unlocking your best self. And we talk about a lot of these principles I'm going to share with you on this call inside this program So if you stick with me to the end, I definitely want to give you opportunity and tell you more about that program in the end. But how do you get it done? How do you live a championship lifestyle, a life of your dreams? How do you get into the game and get off the couch? It's so easy now that I watch football from my couch. Oh, you should have made that throw. You should have made that tackle. But I knew how tough it was when you're on in the game. It doesn't work like that. It's not a joystick. It's not Madden. You actually have to put the work. And oftentimes, what you see on the field is not a leading indicator. It's a lagging indicator, meaning that it's not leading as if what they're doing today is responsible for what the score would be ultimately. It's a lagging indicator that tells you like what they've done in their past, what they've done all week in practice, what they've done in the offseason, how they took care of their body is going to position them on Sunday to either be successful or not to be successful. So when you look at our lives, so many times we think of like, okay, what I need to do today. And is today is going to help like next year. Today is going to help, next week. But a lot of times, today it's not microwave results. So you have to be really ready to get inside of the game with that burning desire that you have, and really like apply that and implement that in your life. Because if you want to see some areas in your life start to be improved, what it's going to take is consistency. It's going to take you not doing it one time. It's going to take you not doing it twice. It's going to take you not being worried about a pat on the back, an attaboy. It's going to take you being consistent and doing it because you want to do it. Doing it because it's your why. Doing it because that's exactly what you need to do. And in the midst of all that, you may encounter some obstacles. You may encounter some adversity. And what I love is this quote by Martin Luther King that said, "The true measure of a man slash woman is not how he behaves in moments of convenience, but how he stands on all times of controversy and challenges." So who are you when those challenges hit? Like who are you when those tough times come? And I get it. A lot of us, fall back to whatever level we set our thermostats to. So we all have these thermostats in our body, and our thermostat really controls like, okay, I'm a guy who needs to make just enough to pay my bills. Well, that's your thermostat. So if that's what you're going to set it at, you're always going to come back to that. Or I'm a guy that just needs to have $1,000 extra a month. Somehow, some way, isn't it amazing that you always get to that number? Because that's what you set your thermostat at. Oh, I'm a 225. That's my somehow, some way I'm going to find that weight. And what I want you to do is raise that temperature up. Raise that temperature dial up to a little bit higher. Start believing yourself a little bit more, so in that way you can figure out how you can unleash, this champion side of you that want to do great things. How are you going to release that? How are you going to get this done? And it's interesting. I came up with this model, and it's called the Champ Framework. And you first understand your current situation, where you're currently at. You then hone in on your desired destination, so where you're going. And what I tell people about the current situation is most times people fail to get to their desired destination is because they put in the wrong Google address. Have you ever been on vacation? Have you ever been going on a trip and they ask you what your current location is and you try to lie on it? Yeah, well, it won't give you the accurate coordinates. So you have to be honest with yourself about your current situation in that area of your life that you're looking to improve, and then you're going to be able to get there. And once you get there, how you hone in on a desired destination, and this is not only for your home, but this is also for your business and career, right? Because we want to talk about the 7 pillars of your life. And what are those 7 pillars of your life? And I think I'm going to go over those right now because I think it's going to give you better clarity on what that looks like. So when we talk about the 7 pillars of your life, I'm talking about things that matter. I'm talking about how we get there, and what areas of our life that we're trying to get better at. And let me punch in my code. All right, so right here we have the 7 pillars. So one, we're talking about what you're doing today, and that's self-development. So self-development is that first pillar of your life, and it's so important that we realize how do we get better with our self-development. The second pillar, right, is call it your business. So how do you get better inside of your business, or slash, some of us don't have businesses, some of us has careers, which is fine. The third pillar we're going to go over is your fitness. Hit the button again. Let's go. Your fitness and health. Sorry about my handwriting, but I think you guys are understanding what I'm saying. The fourth area, and what we talk about, is that's your intimate relationships. Intimate relationships. Those are with your significant other, your spouse. The fifth is social relationships. Your sixth is your finances, your money, the moolah, and the seventh, and what we talk about, and that's gonna be your spirituality. So how is your soul doing in this process? So when we look at all these areas and all these seven pillars of our life, we look at how can we get better and how can we improve in all these areas, because they're each important. In fact, if you're building a house, and I've built a few myself, if one of the walls of one of the areas of the house has a bad foundation and that pillar is broken or cracked or damaged, my entire house is going to fall down. It's no different with our lives. If one of those pillars are broken or damaged, our whole life is going to be in shambles. So what I want to share with you is that, like, when you're looking at your life, when you're looking about, becoming a better version of yourself in your life, I want you to really look at these areas and make sure that you understand how important it is to show up in all these areas of your life, and make sure that not only you show up, you have a plan to thrive. What's your plan to thrive with your self development? How are you going to put what you learned today into action? What's your plan to thrive in your business, in your career? What's your plan to thrive in your fitness and your health? It's great that we talk about it, and we should talk about it. But we should have a plan to implement after we talk about it, after we discuss it, that we can continue, so that we can see those areas of improvement that we want to have. All right? So I'm going to take you back now to the Champ framework, and this is going to make more sense now. So each one of those seven pillars that I discussed, we want to talk about one, your current situation, make sure you're accurate, honing on your desired destination, where exactly you want to go. And when I tell people about the desired destination, is what I say is like, where is that place at in your desired destination, that where is that clear vision of yourself? Where's that clear vision that you're going to share with people, that you're going to share with the world, that they're going to be impressed, and they're going to be certain of the area in the direction that you're taking? And I use the example that when we were young, my kids, they're 12, 10, and 8 now, but when they're younger, we used to put together puzzle pieces. And when we get the puzzle in the box and that vision was clear, we could know exactly where it was we were going. As they got older and they were younger, of course, the box would get damaged, but we still had the colors, so we could still look at the colors and still identify exactly how we put that puzzle together. But then as they got even older, some of the top part of the puzzles got ripped off. So now I'm just looking at this brown manila color. And when I looked at that, it was challenging for me to put that puzzle together. And so we try to put pieces that doesn't fit, and we tell ourselves it fit. We really know it doesn't. Like, am I the only one that does that, right? I'm sure there's other people. And that's what happens in our lives. When we don't have a clear vision in our life of our desired destination, we're just guessing. We're just putting things in areas that they don't really go. So I want you to be clear about your destination, on where it is you want to go. Next up, we want to apply the 80-20 principle. And what the 80-20 principle tells you is that you should, let me get out this one. 80-20 principle shows that you should always do your highest and best use, and you should use this formula in order for you to identify what 20% of your life, of your activities, is going to yield 80% of your results, right? So if we look at this funnel right here, and this is the bottom, it's called EAD funnel. And what we first want to do with this first group is E, we want to eliminate. We want to eliminate anything on our to-do list that we make that doesn't align with our vision. We want to eliminate anything that doesn't bring us closest to where exactly we want to go in our lives. And after we eliminate it, the next thing we want to do is we want to automate it. We want to automate things that we can. Maybe our groceries we can automate. Maybe our bills we can automate. Maybe our dry cleaning we can automate. I know some of you are on this call maybe are single. You automate your dating, right? Good Tinder, send me profiles, right? So many things we can use technology for. We can automate. Bookkeeping we can automate. So what things can we automate in our business? And after the automation, what things can we delegate? And how we delegate, I want to share with you, it's not that we hire someone or we just say, hey, do this. No, we delegate properly. We first demonstrate how to do it, and then we let them show us that they can do it by themselves. And then we tell them that they can go ahead and have the job. And if they have any questions, they get back and talk to us to make sure they can see the job through and that we're there constantly to help them. And after we get to all that stuff, we eliminated what we don't need. We automated everything we could possibly automate. And then we start to delegate it. Then next, what we do is this is our 20%. This is our last 20% of what it is that we should be doing with ourselves, with our business. And that's how we're going to yield the results that we need to live our highest and best versions of ourselves. You got it? So that's the chain framework. And that's exactly how you do it. And after we get that done, we want to take massive action. Now that we know exactly what it is that we need to do and what is our unique gift, our unique genius, we need to do a lot more of that more consistently every single day. Fall in love with the process, divorcing ourselves from the outcome. So then that way we can have this championship transformation that we're searching for. Because in my mind, that transformation is not like a one-time thing. It's not a one-time thing. It's like the rest of your life thing where you're constantly chasing the best version of yourself. And I want to share with somebody today because I know you might be looking at this and you're like, woof, that sounds amazing. But some time ago, you probably gave up. You probably gave up on your dream. And I want to ask you, like, how long has it been since your dream has eluded you? How long has it been that you told yourself you're not good enough? How long has it been that you put that thing on the back burner and say, oh, I'll get to it later? Because, in life, and what we should know is that, like, it's precious. And we might not have a chance to do it again. So for me, I want you to live your life free and let go of the rope, baby. Put a plan in place. Let go of the rope. It is fun. Life should be fun. We should enjoy it. So this is what I want to encourage you to do. Let go of the rope. Enjoy your life. Become the best version of yourself. And stop letting those things hold you back. Stop letting those things hold you back, like fear, like rejection, or making a fool of ourselves. Because at the end of the day, guess what? Everyone that ever begun something, everyone that ever took a leap of faith, they were thought to be a fool until it worked. And then everyone at that point wanted to be involved. So, sometimes when you get started, it may not look great, but that's okay. Don't ever compare your beginning with someone else's middle or their end. Get started for you on what it is you want to do and how you want to live your life. And if you're consistent about implementing that champ framework and getting that massive action done and what area you need to do, you can live the best version of yourself. You can live a great life. And I want to tell you that, there's some differences. There's some differences of what makes you great. And I know what the problem sometimes is that we're just fear and his lack of belief. But for me, I just want to get you clarity so you can zero in on your goals. Again, overcome your fears, unlock your potential, and achieve success. And that's what it's all about for me. How do you unlock your potential? How do you unlock that greatness inside of you? Because at the end of the day, what you can have is you can have results or you can have excuses, but you can't have both. You can have results of the work that you put in, the time that you sacrifice, or you can have excuses of why it didn't work, but you can't have both. And when you develop this championship mindset, you're gonna have this paradigm shift where you can live your life in abundance. You can live with more than abundance, and you're not giving at this point from a lack of scarcity. You're giving from a lack of abundance. I mean, a place of abundance. You can choose to lead instead of follow. Again, I talked about the goal of a leader is to create more leaders and less followers, and that's what you should be aiming to do. And you can choose to embrace adversity, right? You choose to embrace those losses as learning opportunities, and with those, you can grow from those and become a better version of yourself. And I think that's what it means, right? That's what it means to kind of do that. I'm gonna give you, and I'm gonna leave you with 5 things on what we could do today. Actionable steps on how we could do that today to kind of get that done. All right. So I'm gonna leave you with these 5 things, and I hope you're taking notes. And if you are, that's great. Type in the chat if you're taking notes, because someone may want to get these from you. And I want to make sure you have all this information for you so you can look at it, post this conference, post this talk, and then you can implement these things. So the 5 things I'm gonna tell you about: don't postpone your enjoyment, be the change you want to see in the world, be kind to others, be kind to yourself, and my core value is fulfillment first and then serve. So when I talk about don't postpone enjoyment, so many of us are looking, and sometimes we wait for a goal in order to celebrate. Like, I want to reach $1 million. I want to reach this weight, and we wait until we get to that point to start celebrating. Or we have opportunity to speak, or we have opportunity to make a connection, and because it's not a special event, we postpone that. Oh, isn't your birthday coming up? Isn't something big coming up? We'll get together then. And my friends, we can't do that. We can't postpone enjoyment. Life is happening right now, right? Not to us, but for us. And when we start to enjoy and being grateful and start being excited and happy about the things that are happening in our lives, more of those things begin to occur. That's how it works. When you start being grateful for things, more things to be grateful for starts to occur in your life. So don't postpone enjoyment. Don't propose happiness in your life. Take advantage of every moment that you have. Second, be the change that you want to see in the world. Like, we all have 2 roads that we can go down, right? We can all have, the road that's less traveled, and the road that everyone else is on. And a lot of times our attitude determines, how high and how far we're gonna go. And in the social media age, everyone has their phone, and I'm charging mine now because if anything like mine, it dies halfway through the day, which isn't good. But everyone's a reporter, everyone's a critic, everyone is so quick to go online and put their little 2 cents in. And if you want to change the world, you don't do it by Twitter fingers, you don't do it by words, you do it by your actions. You do it by how you show up every single day. And I can remember the story of this woman who was going on this hike, and she was, at this cave, and she sees at the cave, the entrance, 2 dogs. So the first dog goes inside the cave, and he comes back, and he's happy, he's wagging his tail, and he's with his tongue out. So she's like, okay, interesting. The second dog, she observes, goes inside the cave, and comes out, and he's growling. "Arr, arr." He's wanting to bite and fight. So she's thinking to herself, what's inside of the cave? So she walks over there, she peeks inside the cave, and you know what she sees? She saw the cave was full of mirrors. So when the happy dog went inside the cave, he saw a whole bunch of happy dogs. And when the sad dog went inside the cave, he saw a whole bunch of sad dogs. So change your perspective in life on how you view the world and how you show up to the world. Set your thermostat a little bit higher, and that change will then be reciprocated in others. The third thing I'm going to talk about is being kind to others. Being kind to others because you have no idea what they've been through. You have no idea what battles they're facing. You have no idea what losses that occurred. And oftentimes, our unconscious bias is thinking that we know people, and sometimes we have no idea. And I always want to practice kindness, man, because I know I've been through stuff, and I know I've been through tough times. And I know I've been challenging, and I've been forgetful at times where I'm battling the world and battling different things. So, I offer people that grace because so often we could get so worked up. And even when we're in relationships, or we have employees working for us, or any type of communication error, and I've learned that unspoken expectations never get met. And so many times we're so mean and so angry about situations that we didn't properly communicate our expectations. So being kind to others just means, like, having that conversation with that person, figuring out what exactly is going on before we're so quick to judge, before we're so quick to hate, before we're so quick to throw someone under the bus. Let's just practice kindness. And next, it's great to be kind to other people, But also, let's be kind to ourselves. Let's be kind to ourselves. Sometimes the world doesn't have to beat us up. They don't have to say all these horrible things about us because we're great at saying about ourselves. We're great at practicing our own limiting beliefs. We're great at telling ourselves how we can't do something. We're great at telling someone else how you failed at that. We're great at telling ourselves how we're not good enough, how we don't have enough resources, how we don't have enough people, we don't have business experience, la 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 la. All of the excuses that we have, but we shared it earlier. You can have results or you can have excuses. You can't have both. So, my friends, what are you going to do to be kind to yourself? What are you going to do? The world sees you as this great, powerful human being who is a champion in every area of their life. And sometimes how we carry ourselves isn't like that. So, how do we begin to look at ourselves with the power that we have? How do we begin to look at ourselves that we're capable of doing anything we put our minds to? And if someone gives us the limited beliefs, they're talking about their restrictions and not ours. When somebody tells me something can't be done, I immediately say that they're talking about they can't do it, not me. That they're sharing me their limited beliefs. I don't have to share those beliefs. So just understand being kind to yourself when you put inside the work and when you're doing things, it's not a matter of will you be successful, right? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time when you fall in love with the process and you divorce yourself from the outcome. It's only a matter of time before you get to where you want to go. But you have to commit. You have to be kind to others. You have to be kind to yourselves. The last thing, fulfillment first and then serve. I shared a little bit about it earlier, but when I was a captain, Rutgers football team, I was named captain. We walk on, earned a scholarship, got an opportunity to start. And I got named captain. And my mom was an ordained reverend at the time. And I went and talked to her about it. And she was excited for me. And I was a little like, home, like I'm playing small. And she's like, "What's wrong, baby?" I'm like, "Mom, they told me that, I'm a leader. I'm the captain." She's like, "Okay, great." And I was like, "Man, but, again, not being kind to myself. Some of those guys are bigger than me. They're faster than me. They're stronger than me. Bigger high school, better coaches." I said, "Baby, none of that matters." I said, "Your goal as a leader is, I'm going to take a page out of my Bible. Again, ordained reverend." She said, "It's a serve. It's a serve." And I was like, "Man, that's right." And so I've served. And what I realized during the pandemic, what I realized during this world-changing event is that that is partly right. It's partly right because my thing now is like fulfillment first in itself. Fulfillment first. What do I need to do? What are my core values? Where's my compass heading in the directions that I want to become in those 7 pillars of my life? And once those are starting to come in line with themselves, then I can share with others. Because now my cup is running over as opposed to me giving you the last little beats. So I want to share with you fulfillment first. Like, what are you doing for yourself? When was the last time you took a me day? When was the last time you took yourself on a date? When was the last time you took yourself to dinner? When was the last time you bought yourself a gift, like an expensive gift, like the ones who you buy for everyone else? Like, what fulfills you in your soul? And my friends, we have to realize that. And when we chase that, and that's when we become a better version of ourselves, because that's when we're our full, we're authentic, we're happy, we're smiling, because we're who we're called to be. And I think you have that inside of you. I think you have that ability to get that done, but it's up to you. And it's up to you. And I feel like we're all one decision away from a totally different life. One decision away. And that decision today could be made is, are you going to give yourself a growth mindset? Are you going to give yourself an opportunity to grow? Are you going to reframe losses in your life as lessons and tell yourself that challenges help me grow instead of keeping you stuck? And when you develop these things in your life, again, like you're going to move forward with confidence. You're going to move forward with this take charge mentality that nothing's going to be able to hold you back. When you realize that you survive 100% of your bad days, moving forward, anything that steps aside your way, you're going to expect adversity and expect to overcome it. Something else steps in your way, expect adversity and expect to overcome it. And you're going to chart this path on your desired destination, and then nothing's going to step in your way. When it comes in your way, you're going to overcome it. And man, it's going to feel so good because you're no longer going to be in a situation where you're going to be sitting for less. You're no longer be in a situation where people don't have clear understanding on where it is that you're going in your business life, in your personal life. You're going to have that direction. It's hard for you to give that direction when you don't know where you're going. It's hard to share with you someone else on a GPS. This is the location. These are the coordinates. If you don't have those coordinates, so once you figure out all this stuff, you can put those coordinates in your life, and you can decide that it's time to be a champion. You can decide. You can make that decision that it's time to be a champion. And I want to share with you, like I said, I'm going to share with you a program. They're going to put a link inside of the group chat. This is my Champions Academy, my Champion You program. We spent a lot of time. We're going to talk, and we're going to walk you through every key area of your life and how you become a champion of the area. There's going to be worksheets and PDFs on what you need to do to fill out to conquer, this best version of yourself. Now, I want to help walk you through it. I want to help communicate to you when there's opportunities, when you have fulfilled enough of the requirements, and I want to see you be the best version of yourself because nothing makes me happier than seeing people succeed in life. Nothing makes me happier because my goal at the end of life is to create more leaders. And when I look at my impact when it's all said and done, man, that's going to be a great thing. And I want to leave you with a few things. What I've learned about successful people, they look at a few things, right? And I get they look at cost, but what successful people do that not successful don't do is they don't look at the cost, they look at the value. They don't look at cost from a limited beliefs perspective and say, all right, oh man, it's going to cost me X. They look at it like, man, what is this going to do for my life? And what can I do with the value when I become the best version of myself? What does that do for me in my career? What does that do for me in my relationship? How much is that worth for you to live the rest of your life like a champion? And I'm thinking it comes with a cost. But what I will leave you with, and what successful people also realize, what they also know, that there's also another cost. That's the cost of doing nothing. That's the cost of being stuck exactly where you are today. That's the cost of you 1 year from now being mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially in the exact same place you are today. That's a frightening cost for some. For some, it's not. For some, they're great. They're heading in the right direction. Congratulations. But for others, if you need help, I want you to click the link that's going to be provided for you. Sign up for the program. I'm happy to give it on to you because, like I said in the beginning of the call, right, the goal is to create more leaders, less followers. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you took down a bunch of notes. Hope you take on the opportunity to buy the program. I have a book coming out here in the next week, so definitely check out my social media for that. Shoot me a DM or message if this impacted your life. If you got something from this, I love to hear from people, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your conference. I hope you stay glued to your computer or if you're in person. I hope you're taking down a bunch of notes. I hope you learn from this day, and more importantly, I hope you make the decision today that's going to change your life. All right, guys, you go out there, win the day. And I love to say this, and I wholeheartedly agree. I hope we all make it. So you guys go out there and get it done.
Wow. 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 I love Gary Brackett from the very first time that I met him. He is, right here in Indianapolis. And for those of you that are listening and are joining in today from Indianapolis, you get it. Gary was the captain again for the Super Bowl team with Peyton Manning, and his heart is just big. Now you've connected to him. So listen, if you are in VIP, if you have the book, if you've downloaded the book, there is a note. There are pages right there with Gary's challenges. And I'm going to ask Anza right now, if you're on the Zoom line, if you could just post a poll. We had one that has the challenges for your day. So what are you trying to accomplish from today? Right. And the first one was, what is the biggest challenge? Are you trying to stay focused, find renewed energy to cope, or staying committed? Right. So these are things we want to address with you every single speaker. Are you suffering from any of these right now? The other one is, right, if you could gain momentum in that area, how can we help you create that? Right. And so Is it, do you want a sense of accomplishment? Do you want the renewed energy and just achieving more in your life? This is all what our mindset is about today. I am just so grateful and honored that each and every one of you is here, that you're live watching this. And I appreciate you hanging in there. We have 6 hours of presenters, 6 hours. Now, Gary was our keynote. He was fantastic. He really brought his level of professionalism and experience. There is a link that Ans is going to post here in the chat if you, as we get that, that will connect to his programs. If you're in the VIP, you will also get connected to that, and we have a special gift for you in VIP.